my name is Shadow Templar 591 and I'm back actually doing something a little different. I am doing another what is video. Once again, for those who don't know, my what is video is basically a pretty concise, almost video form Wikipedia about what is a certain game. Very basic information, almost like a beginner's guide to a little impression at the end. Usually I give my final thoughts and whatever, and try to find out what the goal of the game is, if it has a goal, and does it accomplish it. So the game I'm doing is Hearthstone. So what is Hearthstone? Well, Hearthstone is made by Blizzard. I've already done one, Overwatch, just in case you know, if you happen to be, not only living over a rock or maybe a mountain and haven't heard of either Overwatch and Hearthstone, I'm doing another very popular Blizzard game. But I guess that's kind of redundant since a lot of Blizzard games are popular. But I digress. That's not the point. So what kind of game is this? Well, this is CCG and not a TCG, and the reason is because Wizards of the Coast trademarked, or I think copyrighted, either way, TCGs, so everyone now just calls them CCGs and gets around it. I know, stupid. It's a free to play, so you take that as how you take it or leave it. I know some people don't like free play, some do, As for the story, I mean, it's a card game that really, this is a standalone card game. It's not like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon that kind of has a TV show tied into it. It's kind of just a one-off thing of everyone from Warcraft. So if you know Warcraft, I think mostly these guys are specifically from Warcraft 1. A lot of them are. Not all of them, of course, but a good chunk of them are. Some are from Warcraft 3, as you'll see. So that's the story. So gameplay. It's a CCG. You've got a couple of different game modes. So you've got, first I'll show you Tavern Brawl. So Tavern Brawl, basically every week on Wednesday for a couple of days, Blizzard releases some kind of wacky mode. So this one is basically everyone starts off with 10 mana, and then it says how long it lasts, so how long you complete it. So it's not like a day, it's usually a couple of days, like I said before. The reason I like them is it adds something new, and your first one, which I usually always try to give, you get a free pack, so it helps you get cards. So that's that. That's a pretty cool mode. Next is Arena. I probably, to be honest, should have started with deck building and stuff, but we're here, so we'll go through Arena. Basically, Arena is, and a lot of things are like this in Hearthstone. You can either pay money or in-game currency. Money, through a credit card or whatever, credit card, debit card, PayPal, yada yada yada. In-game currency is gold. You get it from winning 3 games in a row. They'll give you 10 currency, or you can get various amounts for completing quests, which I'll go over after I go over the game modes. Solo adventures are what they sound like. They're solo adventures that you play against the computer. Many of them, I haven't played any of them. I haven't unlocked any of them. These two, like Arena, can be unlocked through buying in-game currency or real-world money. So, for those who gripe about free-to-play, this really doesn't solve a lot of them. So it follows the normal free-to-play. So what you like about them is there, what you don't is too. And then you can see, like, for beating this, it's called a wing. And that might sound familiar to some World of Warcraft players, because I guess these are all based on well, a lot of them are based on dungeons from Warcraft. This one is based on the Black Ring Mountain dungeon raid. I'm gonna be honest, I never played World of Warcraft, never really liked the fact that you had to pay money not only to buy the game but then for a subscription, so it was just not my cup. So if I'm kind of vague or don't really understand that aspect of the game, those tie-ins, that's why. And then you get also other cards for beating it on class challenge, and I believe you also do for heroic as well. You have a practice mode so you can try out your game against the computer. It's a computer, so you can imagine how that looks. Actually, before I put a play. And then there's so there's two right now. There's Black Mountain, and then Legends of the Explorers. I don't know if that one's based on anything from WoW, but I do know Black Ring Mountain is. Okay, so now I talked about quests, so I'll show you those. So this is kind of the quest screen, quest log. So it shows you your rank, how high you get. So at the end of the month, your rank restarts. So for new players, I would say wait for about a week or two, because all the people who should be really high up in the ranks are low down and they just crush everyone. They just crush it. I have had it happen to me multiple times, so I usually just wait. Total arena rings is arena wins. Let's try that again. As you can tell, I'm not too good at arena. I don't really follow the meta. I play this because, hey, I have a video rendering and I've got nothing better to do. It shows you your ranks, and for each race, you do unlock some cards here. All the like fundamental cards for a race you do get off the bat, but you do get some for leveling a rank up. Yes, leveling class up. As you can see, these are all the classes. There's 9 of them. Some of them are by your favorite heroes. So Thrall is the leader of the shamans, and this Grawl Helmstring is the leader of the warrior. Well, I guess isn't the leader, but the hero of the warriors. And then here are at the bottom, here are the quests that I was talking about. So those various ones, you know, win 5 games with this one, win 5 brawls, watch someone. There's other ones like do this much damage, you know, summon these many minions under like 2 mana coins, not 2 mana coins, but 2 mana crystals, and so on and so forth. Another good thing is if you don't like a quest, you can skip it. Also, depending on how hard quests are, they vary in gold. I happen to have 2 hard ones that are 60 and 1 easy one if, you know, a friend is on and I can watch them and get a free card back. So before I jump into the cards and how they work, I'm going to just show you briefly the shop, and then we will move on. There's nothing really here much to say except, you know, you can buy, like everything else in this game, you can buy packs with either in-game currency or money. There were other packs, but those have been taken off the store because they've started to do kind of like seasons. When we go into the card collection, I will kind of go into that mode because it's that mode that idea, and they've actually got 2 modes for that. So that way, if you've had old cards for like a past season, they're not completely useless. You can just use them. There's just a different mode you can use them in. Also, because of that, they took out any. There was, I believe, one other adventure. I forget what it was called now, actually. That was associated with them. So now you can just use what's called dust to get the cards. When we go into the cards, I'll go through dusting. So you can buy those adventures too. The difference, I should mention this, the difference here for the adventures is you have to use, I believe, money. Now that I clicked on that, it shouldn't authorize anything because I don't have a credit card loaded up, so hopefully nothing bad will happen to them, crash the game or something. So there's that. Yeah, okay. Let me get back to that. And then you can buy heroes. Basically, these are just. Oh, and they added a preview function. I don't think that was in before. Basically, you know, they add, as you can see, visual effects, emotes, and you get a new card back for $10
ready. Let's do it.
For what essentially is a JPEG. I don't know if it's really worth it. I don't think it's really worth it. But then again, there was one. They had 4, but there was one, and I believe it was for priests that you could get, and the proceeds went for charity. Now that one, if you're like, oh, it's going to charity, that one I could see. You know, you could make an argument for that. Those are what essentially JPEGs. So. If you want to spend $10 on JPEG, you know, you do you, I guess. I personally wouldn't, but that's me. And then here are the decks. You can have up to 18 decks. So, and then you have 2 modes and then 4 ways to play those modes. So you have standard, which is basically, like I said, you can only use basically the essential cards, which are called basic and classic, and then any cards that are currently in seasons which they're using the last 2 years. Or you can use wild, which is basically all the cards that have ever come out. I believe in Brawl and Arena they go by the wild rules, so it's any other cards, but for casual and ranked you can determine which one you want. I personally like, I think it's standard. Yes, standard. And usually I play ranked. Almost exclusively Shaman, if you couldn't tell by how many levels I have in Shaman compared to the other classes. That being said, like if there's a quest where it's like, oh, play this race and get this many wins, race, class, and get this many wins, I will. I just won't play ranked. So here are ranked and casual. You know, those are as they sound. We'll go to the deck collections and I'll pull up one of my decks. And then basically these numbers just mean there's 4 new cards that I just haven't looked at because I don't play those races. So, and I keep saying races and I don't know why, I mean classes. So if I say races, I mean classes. So there are certain class specific cards you can have, and then there are basically what I call neutrals. Basically any class can use these cards. And in each deck you have 30 cards, as you can see down here. Now I briefly hinted about what's called a dusting mechanic, and this is an interesting thing that you can do with digital cards. And there's another interesting thing I'll get to after I go through the dusting thing. So you go to crafting, and basically what can happen is, say I get, you know, because after you can only have 2 cards of each. So basically if you have 3 cards of something, it's useless. So what you can do is you can just enchant that for what's called dust, and then I can use it to get another card that I don't have. So say this was 20 each. So I would then get 40 dust, and say this ancestral spirit was 40 dust. I can then use that dust that I got from those 2 ancestral knowledge, build the ancestral spirit, and put it in my deck, just like that. And then when I get it later on, I can either keep, I can then say, well, you know, and then I can get it again, or maybe the ancestral spirit doesn't work, and I can dust that again. But then I give a fraction. I don't know if it's like 1/4 or how that goes, but you'll get less. So you do kind of want to be aware of the cards you dusting don't, and kind of really make sure you don't want them. That's why I usually don't dust cards unless I already have 2 of them. So that's one really cool thing you can do with dusted cards. The dusting mechanic that you can do with dusting in online CCG. Another good thing is if I need to, so say I want to change, like I'm Blizzard and I want to change the text of this card, I can do it and it'll instantly affect everyone. Everyone will be able to see it. For any of those who've played regular CCGs and TCGs, they have to update. A lot of times they'll make more new rules and they'll update the cards. The problem is, for a lot of the players, there's no reason to update the cards. Like, there's no reason for them to get the other updated cards. They have to get the rule book, hopefully. But a lot of times, like, I wouldn't do it because there's no point. You know, I played with my friends, so I played with the rule book we had. We thought we were keeping up, but we don't know. At least here, with this formula, everyone can keep up, everyone can know the rules. That's the experience I was talking about was specifically with Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know if it was like there was other cards like CCGs and TCGs like Magic and stuff, but that was my experience. So those are two really things I think CCGs and TCGs are really gonna benefit from having being digital instead of physical. So duplicates now, instead of being not only a money seek and a kind of a waste of space, they no longer waste space, they're no longer waste money. You can actually use them to get cards you actually need. So I think that's great. For the rest, actually I didn't explain how cards work. So let me go back to my collection. I'm just trying to get everything, ramble on. So how cards work is you have what's called mana. You start off with 1 mana, and then you go from there. So you 1 mana. So on turn 1 you have 1 mana. On turn 2 you have 2 mana. So on and so forth until you max out at 10 mana. And then there's cards. Druid has a lot of them that will basically, you know, add mana either for a turn or for indefinite, for either like just 1 turn or for the whole match. And those are really powerful. I know Shaman has one that what is called Overload, which you'll lose 1 or you'll lose 2 for not this turn, for the next turn. So if you have 4 mana crystals, but this one, you know, and this monster has 4 mana crystals, but it has an overload of 2. Well, what'll happen is you'll only be able to use 3 next turn, because you'll have the 3, so you'll have 5 since you get an extra one, but you get locked out of 2 for that turn because of the overload. And I'll play a game, and because they don't take long, which is another nice thing, and kind of try to go through things. Why this is finding me a person, I should disclaim it, I'm not very good at this game. I don't play this game seriously, like I might have hinted. I kind of play this, I've got nothing better to do, let's play Hearthstone. And that's where a lot of people play. I know they do have tournaments. The problem with, I feel with tournaments right now, is there's just a lot of randomness in the game. So, tournaments have...
Brawl versus Anduin.
The light shall bring victory.
Okay, I just wanted that to go by. Have literally been won or lost by the flip of a coin. So, and I'll show you, literally it's a coin. So I don't want any of these because I'm not going to get 6 mana, 7 mana to rely on 4, and I'm not going to be able to play them. So they're not going to do me any good. Okay. So this is a coin. If you start first, you don't get this coin. If you start, you get really nothing. So starting second is really nice. You not only get an extra card, but you get this coin. So I can gain a mana crystal for a turn, which is one of these. Also, I didn't go over these, but each hero has what's called, each class is called hero power. The priest right now is heal 2 health for 2 mana. Mine, the shaman's, is
Greetings, friend.
is summon a random totem. There's 4 totems, so you got 25% chance of getting the one you want. I'll go back after this game. He's just BMing me. And show the rest of them. I forgot to do that. So this card has what's called a taunt and a battle cry. Basically, a taunt means you can't attack my character unless you destroy this or either get rid of this card somehow. And then a battle cry means it just when the effect happens when you place the card.
Oops, I broke it.
So there's that. So then I will end my turn. And another thing I like is while you're waiting, you can interact with those boards. And there's, I believe, 5 or 6 different boards. So that's another thing. So you're not completely bored. Okay. So I went over mana cost, but I didn't go over like health and stuff. So the red little drop is my monster's health, and then the yellow one on the left is his damage. So mine has a 1 is a 1/4. So it has 1 damage for 4 health. His is a 3/2. So his is stronger. His can kill mine in 2 turns, especially with his heal power, and still survive. So I'm gonna drop that one. That didn't do me any good. The mana tide didn't do me any good. So I'll just attack his face, because it's gonna probably not make it anyways. So there's that. Also, if you might have noticed, this had a battle cry. This can summon any mana totem. So that's really cool. But once again, that kind of goes to what I was saying before about how, kind of the randomness of the game. I mean, while that is great, I mean, if I would have got, there's one that'll give my guys 2 damage. If I would have got that one, I could pretty much clear his board and be in a good position. But I didn't, unfortunately. So I'm gonna try this and hopefully I get that total. And I did not. So you know what? I'm just gonna do this. So this one has an effect. This total has an effect. At the end of my turn, I draw a card. So that has a battle cry, and then this has one. It can't be okay by spells or hero powers, and that's why it's got the lower glowy thing. So cards with this kind of effect have that kind of usually have that kind of text to it. Okay. Okay, I'm not completely sure why you did that, but then again, I'm also kind of terrible at this game, so what do I know? Let's see here.
What to do?
Yes, good question. What to do indeed. So I guess, since I'm not in a great position anyways, I will show you the overlord. Okay. So see how this has a little thing, this little lock? What's going to happen is it's going to lock that crystal next turn, so I'll only have 5 crystals instead of 6. And you'll see it. The UI will show you.
Is someone injured?
Oh, well, this isn't gonna. Oh, that's not good. He's going to be able to draw 2 cards, 2 extra cards. So he's going to have a lot of what's called draw power. That stinks. What is he doing? Now, what happens in this game when you run out of cards is you don't automatically lose like you do in Yu-Gi-Oh, and I don't know how it is in Magic and Pokemon because I haven't played those in a while. What happens is you basically keep drawing a card, but it's basically you get damage done to yourself. It's pretty much what happens. While we have a little lull, I'll talk about other effects that I'm thinking of. So there's an effect called Inspire, and basically what that means is this effect will happen when I use my hero power. Or when a champion uses their hero power, or hero, or whatever you want to call it. They will get that effect. Okay, so does he... doesn't really have any appealing with that.
Are you my master?
Your minions think you are weak.
So let's see if he's got anything to deal with that.
By the power
Oh, of course he does.
I have the power.
Oh my god. So we're probably not gonna win this. This is not going very well for us. I mean, I'm not gonna quit, but I'll keep trying. So this little lightning basically just means this effect is gonna happen pretty much each turn. Yeah, this is just not gonna know. Oh, as you can see, you have 30 health. Well, I could have used that a long time ago. God, I don't even know if that's going to be really any useful to me right now.
There is a lot at stake here.
So another effect is what's called a dash rattle, and basically it means when a minion dies, whatever it's on the effect of the card is going to happen. So a common one is when death rattle, when this minion dies, 2/2 pops up. So that all that means is it's a minion with 2 attack and 2 health. That's a common thing to pop up. Well, now he's unloading his hand on me. Let's see. Hopefully he throws the Emperor Thracian into my things from below, but I don't know if he'll be...
Your magic shall
Oh, he
not
could just
fail.
silence that. I think I lost. As long as he can do basic math. Oh no, that's actually... Okay. Brought up this time. So I basically... Yeah, I... Well, that didn't help, but I lost anyways.
Do not push me.
Yeah. Yep. So silence basically just means it just stops whatever effect. So he no longer, for my taunt minion, gets rid of the taunt. If it's a battle cry minion, he doesn't have the battle cry. So it acts just like a normal card, a plain card with no text.
Well, I
So we lost. I mean,
You win this.
we can see. So yeah, that is pretty much Hearthstone in a nutshell. That game. There might be some effects I missed. I will go over the oh god, I'm blanking, the hero the hero special ability. So mage is basically, it can for 2 mana crystals it fires a fireball. Shaman, you saw, has a totem. Druid gains 1 armor permanently and 1 attack for that turn. Paladin can summon a 1/1, so a minion with 1 health and 1 attack. Warlock, who is, I think the hero for that is Gul'dan, will summon. He can take 2 damage to draw a card. So Hunter is, he can do 2 damage to the enemy, only the enemy hero. So I should specify for the mage one, it does 1 damage, but it can be to a minion, or it can be to the actual hero. So I should have specified that. Same for the druid. The hunter is the only one that can only attack that will only damage the hero. Warrior basically will gain 2 armor. The rogue, which as you can see I play tons of, gains a weapon that is able to be used, I believe, twice, either twice or 3 times, but it only has like 1 damage on it. And priest, as you saw, is a heal. So yeah, that is Hearthstone in a nutshell. As for like the aesthetics of the control, you can see they look really nice. Very simple. So this is on everything. This is usually, I don't actually play this on my computer. I did it for the video. I usually have this on my smartphone. It controls really good whether you're on desktop, whether you're on a smartphone. I don't know how it is on tablet. I would imagine it's pretty good on that. And this game's goal, I mean, I guess it's the game. I don't know if this game has any other goal to be but fun. And I know that's a little cop out, but usually some games will, and I know people don't like this, will have some kind of message. So a lot of like cyberpunk games will be like a dystopian future. So kind of like, you know, if you've read 1984 and Fahrenheit, I believe it's 394. 401, I don't remember. Either way, you know what book I'm talking about, and I'm showing my lack of literary knowledge, which is kind of embarrassing. But so those are kind of have those themes. This kind of doesn't have a theme. It's more, hey, if you like Warcraft, if you like CCGs, boy, we got a game for you. The price, it's a free-to-play game. It suffers. It has the greatest strengths and the greatest weaknesses are free to play. My one complaint about this is Blizzard is kind of like almost like the Square Enix of the West, in the sense that a lot of the things for the microtransactions are kind of ridiculously priced. Like if you saw some of those prices, personally I think they're a little high. I mean, if someone else if a different company probably tried that, they'd probably get ridiculed for it. To be fair enough, I haven't really been around the Hearthstone forum, the community, to know how much criticism there is or lack of Blizzard over those monetary policies. But once again, kind of as an impression-y part of this, I think they're a little ridiculous. I think the grind is, if you are only invested in one kind of class, especially early on, is kind of real. It's kind of high in my part. But once you start get cards and stuff and really start leveling up and getting used to not only how you want your classes get used to like works and what are the strengths of your decks, you can see that of other decks and stuff. Or you can just go on Hearthstone.com and just make a generic deck. I mean, the choice is yours. I know this was a little longer than what usually my What Is videos are, but I thank you for bearing with me, and I want to remind you that once again, my name is Pinchero Templar 591, and as always, have a great day.